So this is a letter to Jack, the land, to Bali, to the universe, sorry, and to all the people that will pass through these doors into Jack's healing retreat. I make a promise and a vow to you all to bring light into this world, to spread healing, and to help do my part to lessen human suffering. Jack, I love you so, so much. You're my biggest teacher. You've created so much healing here already. You're changing so many lives and I respect you. You've taught me pain. You've taught me how to love. And you've taught me how to integrate my shadow. You've taught me everything that's been ever important to me. Sorry. Thank you. I am Rebecca. I lost my brother Jack in 2018 to suicide, to medically induced suicide. It's taken me a very long time to be here, currently 5.5 years for me to be able to really use my voice in this way, not just for him, for myself, my family, but for all of those that have also taken their lives, and unfortunately for all of those that will continue to do so. There's many people that I've worked with now over the years that have suffered this loss. People that I meet every day that have suffered this loss, people that I work with every day that are suffering suicidal ideation. There's a big, big, big toxic issue that's going on in our society. Something is broken, something does need fixing. And I always said 5.5 years ago, even from the second that I found my brother, that once I had the strength, the resilience, the courage, that I would use my voice. Jack and I are 14 months apart from each other. Our childhood was brilliant. We grew up in England. My mum and dad, our mum and dad split when we were fairly young, and then we lived between both of them for a while. My dad raised us mainly, and we had a great childhood. Anyone that kind of knows my dad and my brother and I would say that the three of us were like these little three musketeers or three best friends.
Hello, it's nice to be with you today. I have a very important story to tell you. Can you guess what it is about?
Safety.
Grubby says, safety. Teddy said, good guess, Grubby.
When we were born, my dad used to talk about Australia all the time. He'd gone to Australia and travelled around when he was in his early 20s, and he always used to talk about Australia. So my brother and I, we grew up and we were quite fascinated with Australia, and we'd always say that as soon as we were sort of 18, then we were going to bugger off and then go over there. So it was kind of like this lifelong dream to go to Australia. We were together there in Perth for, Jack was there for about 10 or 11 years and I was there for a year longer. In that time, Jack had a bulging disc on his back, so he was in quite a lot of pain there for some time, and he was medicated, and the bulging disc was getting bigger and bigger. It led to sciatica, so he'd have huge pain all the way down his legs and his back, and he got very, very, very depressed, so was on antidepressants. He couldn't sleep because of the anxiety, so was on sleeping tablets. And these medications were highly addictive, and when he would come off of the medications, he would say that his brain was on fire, he was going through psychosis. Jack passed away in Australia. He died in Perth. I believe that I did the best that I could then. Obviously, that I wish that I could turn back time and do things differently. Losing him was like losing my past, my childhood, obviously my present, and then like who on earth I was ever going to be in the future. It really brought me to my knees. It was like the darkest, most painful time of my life. I took medication for a week, and I was taking this medicine, and it was just like, what am I doing? I just feel like I'm repeating the same cycle as my brother. I sold everything in Australia, and I left and I moved to Indonesia. Bali has her own energy, her own consciousness, her own thing going on. And when I came here, Bali was like my hospital, you know? She was my nurse. She kind of nurtured me and brought me back to life. Like, she really kicked my butt at times, and it wasn't always easy, but she was my biggest healer and one of also my biggest teachers. Being in Bali and with the beautiful people here and the culture and just, you know, the support, the love, the nourishment, the ceremonies, like everything that encompasses Bali as a whole, the animals, everything, the smells, just the land itself was just so rich, and it just brought my heart back to life, my body back to life, and it just made me feel, yeah, like I was constantly kind of cuddled by her every day. And I started doing breath work, was like the first major thing that I did that really took me to whole new heights. So we're really raising the vibration and allowing the monkey mind to switch off, and then changing our brain wave to really go down into theta, and then our body just being able to become very, very, very open and vast, and unlocking parts of ourselves that have been long suppressed. Okay, so just taking a few big deep breaths, closing down your eyes, getting out any wriggles, any twitches in the body. And then bringing all parts of you here, nowhere to be, nothing to do. If you believe that they're still around and that there's something that you need to hear or do or listen up or understand, keep going, trust. And even though sometimes healing can be really painful, it's where the biggest lessons are. So do not give up and just keep going, and allow yourself to just move into the light over time, because you will get there.